え？
うわ！
司くん。司くん。
Who? Miss Yui was clinging to me tightly. I couldn't move. I was frozen in shock. She began to weep.
来てくれたのね。司くん。
how high is your temperature right now? You've come for me, Tsukasa.
つかさ？
嬉しい。よかった。
What a lovely surprise. I'm so glad you're here.
先生待って、人違いだよ。
Wait, Miss Yui, wait, you got the wrong person. It seemed like I was getting through to... Well, I wasn't getting through to her at all. And then the sensation of her chest as she held me was making it virtually impossible to fight her grip. I was utterly powerless against this opponent. Boobs! I never realized before just how soft a woman's chest really was. God, am I that weak-willed? I had to remind myself that Miss Yui had me confused as someone else. Oh my god. Mustering all the strength I could, I gripped her arms and tried to pry them off me. God! Oh, oops. Nope. 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 But she was a lot stronger than I anticipated and wouldn't let me go. Let me get away.
怖かったよ、司くん。怖かった。
I was so scared, Tsukasa. I was so scared.
怖かった。
Scared?
まさか来てくれるなんて思わなかった。
I never thought you'd actually come.
うわ！
As she squeezed me tightly, I felt as though my upper body might collapse under the pressure of her softest parts. Just say it, her boobs! I was blushing uncontrollably.
ゆい先生、ちょっと離れて。
Miss Yui, please let go.
やだ。
No, I won't.
先生ってば！
Come on, Miss Yui! I struggled to wriggle free, but Miss Yui only grabbed me tighter. Our bodies were getting more and more intertwined. Oh. And every time I squirmed, Miss Yui would just pull me in even closer.
司くん。
うわ！
As her chest rose and fell erratically, droplets of sweat slid down into her cleavage. I could feel the heat of her fever radiating off of her steadily and crouching face, as well as the shoulders I'd grabbed in an effort to push away.
そばにいて、司くん。お願い。
Stay here with me, Tsukasa, please!
だから人違い。
I'm telling you, you got the wrong person. Questions were swirling around in my head. Why was Miss Yui crying? Who was this Tsukasa person? But I was most concerned for the state of her pajamas, which had become even more disheveled during our struggle.
先生、パジャマ、ズボン。
Your pajamas, your pants!
ずり落ちてるから。
It's sliding down.
司くん。あったかい。
Tsukasa, you're so warm.
ゆい先生ってば！
Miss Yui, please! Realizing that not a single word was getting through to her, I sighed resigningly. I've taken care of Yuka a number of times when she caught a cold and drawn a fever, but I don't recall it ever getting this bad. Miss Yui was usually calm, collected, and rational. Who would have ever thought that a fever could leave her so thoroughly discombobulated?
ゆい先生、ちょっと。もう！
Miss Yui, seriously, pull yourself together! I put more strength into my resistance, and finally her arms relaxed just the tiniest bit. But her expression changed drastically. No, no, please.
先生、俺は持田聡で司って人じゃ。
Miss Yui, I'm Satoshi Machida, not the suit.
行かないで。やだ。
Please don't go, please! Miss Yui was acting like a spoiled child. Slipping out of the shoes I've been wearing, I again drew close to her sprawled out form. There's no way I could just leave her here like this.
後で気がついて怪しまないでくれよ。
I sure hope none of this seems too sketchy after her fever breaks. Miss Yui let out a lethargic groan, perhaps in response to my quiet murmurings. At my wit's end, I grabbed hold of her and did my best to carry her into the back room. Gently, willingly over to her unfurled futon, I then carefully laid her down, making sure I didn't drop her in the process. Then there was the matter of rebuttoning those pesky pajamas again. I hesitantly pulled up her pajama bottoms and brushed away the stray hairs that were plastered to her brow with sweat. I'd done my best to avoid seeing anything I shouldn't, but I'm a guy, so my heart was pounding the whole time. But Miss Yui's pajamas were soaked through with sweat. She might really have been better off with a change of clothes altogether. But no, that would have been going way too far.
タオルとか何か拭くものでもあれば。って、ん？
Wish I could find a towel or something I could at least wipe some of the moisture away. Huh? Noticing a convenience store bag carelessly tossed to the floor, I glanced inside.
なんだ、冷却シート買ってきてあるじゃん。
Hey, she already bought cold packs.
なんで使ってないんだか。もう。
Why wasn't she using them? Jeez.
先生、ヒヤッとするけど我慢してね。
Miss Yui, this might be a little cold, but bear with me, okay?
これでよし。
Key! Alright, I think that'll help. I placed one of the compresses on her forehead and pulled the covers over her. Miss Yui appeared almost instantly relieved. She exhaled contentedly and her breathing became more relaxed. Finally, she was asleep. Even in sleep, Miss Yui seemed to be suffering.
モネ。なんだ？先生が心配か？
Oh, Monet, were you worried about your master?
だよな。俺もここまでひどいことになってるとは思わなかったよ。
So, I don't blame you. When Mr. Yamazaki said she was sick, I had no idea it would be this bad. Monet had coiled up on my legs without me noticing. I began absent-mindedly speaking to him. It happens. He mewed in response, and our conversation ended there, as my gaze was still fixed squarely on Miss Yui.
さて、どうしようか。
So what do I do now?
ゆい先生。俺、このまま帰っても大丈夫？
Are you okay to be alone right now? Probably not. She wasn't in any condition to respond. But
ゆい先生。
Miss Yui's hand had slipped out from under the futon and gently grasped my pant leg. Hey. Her grip was much weaker than before. But I knew I'd probably regret it if I went home now. Miss Yui just seemed really lonely.
仕方ないな。
Well, I guess I'll settle in then. Without disturbing Miss Yui's hold on me, I took a seat beside her. For the time being, I figured I'd watch over her and make sure her condition didn't worsen. Occasionally, Miss Yui's breathing would become ragged, and she furrowed her brow. She was in a pretty bad way.
辛そうだな。
Poor thing. Wasn't there anything else I could do? I glanced quietly down the hallway. I noticed when I carried Miss Yui here that the kitchen near the entrance was perfectly neat and tidy. There wasn't any indication it had been used that day at all.
飯食ってるのかな？
I wonder if she's eaten anything. Monet's gaze shifted suddenly. I followed it and saw pet bowls laid out in the corner of the room. One dish was filled to the brim with water, and the other was piled high with dry cat food.
なるほど。モネはちゃんと食べてるんだな。
I see. Someone's eating well around here, huh?
熱出してあんな状態になってても、お前のことはちゃんと考えてくれてるんだな。
I'd do the same thing. Even delirious with fever, she's still taking real good care of you.
でもさ、ユイ先生、まずは自分の食事の心配をしようよ。
But that's not good enough. Miss Yui, you should be thinking about your own meals first. I shook my head at the whole situation, then glanced down at Monet, who was tilting his head as if trying to understand me. I broke into a weary smile. When I pulled out the cold packs, I did notice some cheap convenience store food in the bag as well. I guess that was going to be her food for the day. Not exactly the best stuff to eat when you're sick.
米と、あと卵くらいはきっとあるよな。
There's rice and eggs at least.
卵がゆでも作ろ
Maybe I'll make some egg porridge or something. Ew.
う。先生、キッチン借りるよ。
Miss Yui, may I borrow your kitchen? Her face was bright red, and her half-pained, half-contented noises provided me with no clear-cut answer to my question.
仕方ない。ユイ先生の代わりに、
Don't
モネ
think
に許しをもらおうかな。
don't think I'm gonna get much out of her. How about you, Monet?
モネ、キッチンを借りていいか？
Do I have your permission to use the kitchen?
ありがとう。
Excellent, thank you. Monet's cries helped assuage my guilt over entering a woman's apartment and borrowing her kitchen. Not that I had any reason to feel guilty, I don't think, anyway. I mean, circumstances were what they were. Still, I had this nagging sensation that I should have somehow felt bad about what I was doing.
ユイ先生、ごめんな。ちょっと離れるよ。
Oh my god, like, why are you feeling bad about taking care of somebody? If I knew, like, I understand that he's trying to be really polite. I mean, a man, a single guy entering a single woman's apartment when they don't have it, and especially a teacher, no less. Like, I can understand the politeness of that, but she is really sick. So, I would say, like, I would be making her, like, chicken noodle soup, like, immediately, and then trying to make her, comfortable and feel better. Excuse me, please, Miss Yui, I'm gonna need to get up. One by one, I gently peeled off each of the fingers latched onto my pant leg. The expression on her face changed as I was doing so, from contented rest to mild annoyance, but there was nothing to indicate that she might wake up.
よし、作るか。
Alright then, let's see what we can do, shall we? As I stood up, Monet mewed happily and began tagging along at my heels. And Miss Yui, now resting by herself in the bedroom, let out a sudden sneeze. Oh, now we're into episode 3. That was just a prologue, people. That was just a prologue. Okay.
ちょっとゆい
Come on, Yui.
かかったよ今くしゃみ
Gross, I just got sprayed.
ごめんなんだか 鼻がムズムズするの。
Sorry, I got a real tingle in my nose today for some reason.
まったくもう。
Honestly.
ティッシュ。あれどこやったっけ？
Tissues. Huh? Where did I put them?
ああ、なければ私のを使ってよ。せめてものお詫び。
Oh wow, did I get that much on you? Here, use one of mine. It's the least I can do.
やった！じゃあ私使う。
So, great. Don't mind if I do.
私も持ってないよ。ティッシュちょうだい。
What? She was talking to me. May I have one too, please?
はい。
Let's see. Here we go.
サンキュー。あんたたちね、ティッシュくらい常備しときなさいよ。
So, you guys really should keep extras with you, you know?
面目ない。
Well, sorry.
まったく。
Honestly. People.
それで、何の話だっけ？
So, what were we talking about again?
そうそう。だからさ、とうとう3年になっちゃったよねって話。
You remember? We were talking about what it's like to be seniors now.
はあ。だね。あと1年で卒業か。
Oh, I know, right? Can it really be just one more year before we graduate?
卒業もだけど、私たちそれよりもっと考えなくちゃいけないことがあるじゃない？
So this is a flashback. Well, graduation is important. Don't forget there's life afterward to think about it as well.
え？進路よ。
Our careers!
いや、聞きたくない。
No, I really don't want to think about that.
正直さ、進路相談何回受けたって将来のことなんかはっきりしないっていうかさ。
Well, there's a reason we've been subjected to all those career counseling sessions, and it's because our futures are just big question marks right now.
だよね。どうするかな、ほんと。
No kidding. What are we going to do with our lives? It's scary.
ねえ、ゆいは？もう進路とか決めてる？
Any ideas, Yui? You have any plans for the future?
実はね、もう決めてるんだ。
Actually, I've got it all figured out.
なにゆい、何になりたいの？
Well, don't leave us hanging. Out with it, girl.
私はね、
Well...
私の名前は宍戸ゆい、17歳。将来の夢は先生になること。
So, my name is Yui Shishido. I'm 17 and my dream is to be a teacher.
あまりよく考えずに人のことに首を突っ込んでは空回ってることが多い私だけど。
What? What kind of explanation is that? I butt into the lives of others without a second thought, and I spend most of my time doing nothing important.
でもそんな私でもきっと頑張れば夢が叶うって信じてる。
But I believe that even someone like me can make her dreams come true, with enough hard work. Kisaragi Academy 5 years ago. So, interesting. The cherry blossoms were in bloom and the rustling wind carried with it the soft warmth of the season. I was a high school senior now and was devoting myself to my studies in preparation for the day my dream could become a reality. And that dream was to become an English teacher. My grades were on the fence for getting into the university I wanted though. So my best bet was to score a special recommendation from the academy.
よかった。急に呼び出されたから何事かと思ったよ。
Whew, that was a lucky break. When I got called to the office, I had no clue what it might be about.
ある日の放課後、私は職員室に呼び出された。
After school one day, I was summoned to the teacher's staff room.
何かヘマをやったのかとか、成績が志望校に及ばないとか、そういう悪いことを言われるんじゃないかってビクビクしてたんだけど。
I was freaking out that maybe I failed or my grades weren't good enough for the school I wanted to go to, or something terrible like that.
私の予想に反して呼び出された要件はとてもいいものだった。
But it turned out my fears were all for naught.
うちの学園からはライバルはいなさそうだから、このまま頑張れば推薦してやるぞ。
You have no rival in our academy, they said. So if you keep working hard, we'll be happy to give you a recommendation.
なんかやる気出てきちゃった。この調子で頑張らないとね。
Huh. Man, was that ever a pick-me-up? I feel like I could take on the world now. I'm gonna have to make sure I don't let this chance slip by me.
それにしてもゴミ箱ってどうしてこんなに重たいんだろう。
This trash can, why exactly is it so ridiculously heavy again?
ゴミ捨て場まで持っていくのも一苦労だよ。
Okay. Carrying this beast to the utmost. Hello! Speaking of cats, look who decided to join me! Okay. Carrying this beast to the dumpster is going to be the death of me.
な
I'm guessing you're Tsukasa.
突然声をかけられてゴミ箱を抱えたまま振り返る。それは今まで話したことのない男子生徒だった。
So, I turned around.
見かけたことなら何度もある。
I turned around, still holding the garbage can. The voice belonged to a male student I never spoken with before. I've seen him around a lot, though.
彼は7組の三國司くんだ。
His name was Tsukasa Mikuni from class 7.
そこ足元根っこが出てるから気をつけな。
Watch your step. There's a root sticking out of the ground here, and it's pretty easy to trip on.
え？
Well, guess what? Huh. Watch out for that thing. You're gonna fall. What? Works every time.
ちょっとそこ笑うとこ？
Hey, what's the big idea laughing at someone else's misfortune?
だってよ
もうそこはさ、大丈夫かとか聞いてくれたって。
Well, it's not funny. Shouldn't you be asking if I'm okay or something?
悪い悪い
My bad, my bad.
あ、いいよ、そんな手が汚れるよ。
You don't have to help clean up. You'll get your hands dirty.
別にいいよそんくらい笑った詫びに手伝う
So, don't worry about it. It's the least I could do after laughing like that.
ありがとう。
Thanks.
うんこれで全部拾い終えたか
No prob. That should be everything, right?
もう大丈夫。
Yeah, looks like it.
じゃ行くぞ
Cool, let's go then.
あ、
I remember it well, even now. This is my first time talking with Tsukasa, and he left a strong first impression on me.
ごめん、重たいよね。
That's really kind of you. Isn't it heavy, though?
別に
Not especially.
やっぱり自分で。
So, I am the one assigned to take it. Maybe I should...
いいって
It's fine, really.
はい終了
There, everything in its place.
ありがとう。助かったよ。
So, thank you so much. You were a huge help.
じゃあな
So, catch you around.
あ、ちょっと待って。
Hey, hold up.
あ
お礼させてよ。
I feel like I should do something nice for you in return.
いいよ女のこれくらいで
So, don't worry about it. Your thanks is plenty.
いいからちょっと待っててね。
Look, just wait there a second, okay?
ん
友達が増えるというのは嬉しいし楽しい。その相手が 三國司くんというのも嬉し
She
かっ
loves him.
た。司くんのことは実は少し気になっていたから。
Making a new friend is always great, but when it happens to be Tsukasa Mikuni, it's all the better. He kinda been on my mind for a while.
よいしょ。
There we go. The hell? Most of the times I'd seen Tsukasa before this were in the school courtyard. He spent a lot of time there sitting alone on a bench. Even after school or during summer vacation, if I happened to pass by, I would always see him there. And after this little encounter, we'd go to make many fond memories together. Yet somehow the image of Tsukasa that stands out most in my mind is of him seated alone on that courtyard bench.